Well, thank you very much, Victor. It's always a pleasure to come back to your great meetings and be here with wonderful colleagues. It's not so much fun to follow an outstanding speaker like I'm in, because now who knows how much I'm going to screw up. But anyway, I decided today to take a direction maybe that most people here haven't thought about. Certainly we want to promote activity. As Imin says, we want to track physical activity in countries around the world. I mean, you folks are devoting your lives to helping people get more active. But there's another group out there that is pushing for craziness in diet and physical activity. I don't know how we're going to deal with this. The world is full of nonsense. Every day, all of you, as you check your emails, you get, I took these out of my junk mail box, but you get these kind of messages, email messages. 3 foods that kill diabetes, and on and on. You can all read the list. This is mostly nonsense. How do we as professionals and how do the public know how to separate the nonsense from the important information? As you walk down the street, there are newsstands, and this is an old picture from a magazine a couple of years ago. I guarantee you, you walk down the street, stop and look at those magazines, and the majority of them are going to be similar to this. They are mostly young, very attractive. This woman actually has on quite a few clothes compared to the ones on some of the magazines. But this particular example, where's the pointer, Victor? The top? That's what I pushed. The magic finger, and his worked and mine didn't. But this, okay, walk a little, lose a lot. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe you think? Should I lose a little? So okay, let's walk a little. So here is the program that these people are promoting. Now, I do agree that she really needs to lose some weight. Look at that fat woman. And here are the 10 points in their program. So just quickly take a look at those. Sky reach, each side, and what she's doing here is the lunge and so on. Well, as I go through this and I just make some rough estimates, they claim that you will lose 5 pounds, about 2 kilograms, in the first week. So in order to, and their diet has you consuming 1,200 calories a day. So you do those 10 exercises I showed you. I estimate that might take 40 minutes or so, and I'm assuming this woman might be 4 meters tall, I don't know, but so maybe she weighs more than this, but I'm guessing maybe she weighs 50 kilograms or so. So if you estimate using the 40 minutes of activity for a person of this size, what I come up with is that each activity would burn 132 calories. So 5 pounds a week will require 2 kilograms, will require a caloric deficit of 16,000 calories. And you're eating this amount, and it's crazy, utter nonsense. But I'm sure a lot of people believe it. Another example, now from down under, I of course didn't mean Brazil, I meant over in that other crazy place across the ocean, Australia. But every day in every country that I've ever visited, and Bill, it's 51 if you're aiming for your target, on the newspaper or again on the magazines, you can find these crazy statements. Lost 26 kilograms in 3 months, 22 kilograms in 5 weeks. I could do that, but unfortunately I do like my legs. I mean, if I got them to cut my legs off, I'd lose that amount, but or maybe my head. No, that wouldn't weigh that much, would it? But these are the kind of crazy things you see again and again. So the American College of Sports Medicine is beginning to try to address this. I don't think it's quite official yet, or I haven't heard the final word. The Center for Accuracy in Science and Exercise, CASE. And these are things that ACSM would like to achieve. We all have to work at this. But also then in academia, this fraud and craziness is coming with journals. And Jeffrey Beal, I encourage you to go to this website. He has identified what he calls predatory journals. Now, I know not all of you are in academia, and you may not be in business to publish papers, but those who are, every day you get email messages, "Dear distinguished Dr. Skinner, please submit your paper to our journal." And it's probably one of Jeffrey's predatory journals. Their only reason for existence is to get you to pay page fees and publish your article. They claim it will be peer-reviewed. They accept everything that is submitted. And this number is going up and up and up. And how are we in academia? How are the standard journals going to learn how to deal with this? It is a very big problem. And I don't have the solution to it. That's why I mention it in talks. I want everyone to be thinking about it. How are we going to teach our junior colleagues and our students? I mean, my goodness, there are full professors who fall prey to this nonsense. So Jeffrey has identified what he calls predatory journals, and you can take time and go to his scholarly open access website and get more information on this. But here's some of the criteria, several of which I've already mentioned. And look at this. In 2011, he'd identified 18 predatory journals. And the last time I checked the website, I didn't update the slide, this was 550 in this short period of time. It's growing like that. We have to learn how to deal with quackery and nostrums in diet, physical activity, and even in academia. But then what we also need to do, back to let's promote physical activity around the world, I think a solution, and it's people are beginning to do this, we need to use modern technology to help people. Now, sure, you can go give a talk to groups, and you can get them in exercise groups, and you can lead them, and that's fine. There'll never be enough of us to do this for the tens of millions of people who are sedentary. So let's learn how to use smartphones, and as Abby King did several years ago, PDAs. Look at this. That's a short study, just 8 weeks, but it was a randomized trial. People over 50, and 93% of them, these few years ago, had never used a PDA, smartphone, etc. So she did this simple intervention that was really text messaging, reporting your steps, giving them motivational tips, and the like, and she got improvement. Significant difference in this randomized trial. Those in the activity group, they got all the way up to, or in the group that was getting the intervention, 310 minutes a week. And look at this. Remember, 93% had never used such a device. These are 50 and older, but most of them liked it. So people like these. This is the world. Some of you out there now are texting and looking at your phone instead of listening to the wonderful speaker. Right? Okay, Jim, put your phone away. This is now a bit of an old article, five years old, but to ask Bess Marcus, who's been one of the leaders in this, to do a survey on using modern technology. And again, I didn't take time, didn't stay up as late last night as Bill did, updating my slides. But this work is really growing. And from when I was in Finland last summer, some of you were there, this was on the front page, I think, of the Helsinki Times, using tracking your physical activity. How many people in here are using a Fitbit, a pedometer, an accelerometer? I want to see. How many of you have one on right now? What? Only a few of us? Oh, that's, I don't know. But tracking activity is a way to begin. And then let's use communication to get back to people who are tracking and get them to increase their activity. This is a focus now in my department, University of South Carolina. Dr. West is now the endowed professor leading this center. She was a leader in developing the diabetes prevention program interventions, the look-ahead preventions. So how do we now get those really through modern technology, reaching thousands, tens of thousands, millions, 10 millions. Ron Laporte tells me there are 5 billion cell phones in the world. So let's do a study. 2.5 billion get the intervention, and let's say a big randomized trial. How about that? And finally, just very quickly, a current project that we're focusing on, we're calling the Global Energy Balance. Jim Hill, University of Colorado, came up with the idea, and we're working with him. He has a center, we have a center. You're going to hear more about GEBN. And this is where we want to bring balance to the discussion of energy balance, which I'll talk about, I think, tomorrow or the next day. But we need to come together. People from industry, from academia, from public health. We need to come together and be more effective in getting appropriate messages out there. Thank you very much.